Atlanta Business Chronicles Biz. Sponsored by Georgia Power and Go Beyond Profit.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. We begin with a project that could provide an economic jolt to Atlanta's west side. The Path Foundation is partnering with the Atlanta Beltline and city government on a 3-mile trail. It'll connect downtown Centennial Olympic Park to the Atlanta Beltline near the future site of the West Side Park at Bellwood Quarry. The project would be a next step in the Path Foundation's longtime goal to ultimately connect the Silver Comet Trail to downtown Atlanta. Officials say the expansion could spur development along the new route. The first phase could begin this summer, with the completed trail opening in 3 years. House lawmakers have voted to create a new state agency that would oversee transit planning, coordinating, and funding across the state, but ensure local control of transit improvements. Now, the legislation would eliminate the Georgia Regional Transportation Authority and replace it with a new Georgia Department of Mobility and Innovation. The work of 6 state agencies would be consolidated under the new department. The bill would also collect sales tax revenue from taxis, limos, and ride-sharing firms to fund transit projects. The transit bill now heads to the state Senate. CarMax is revving up plans to hire hundreds in Georgia. The nation's largest retailer of used cars will create 300 jobs this summer when it opens a customer experience center in Peachtree Corners. Now, positions include consultants and managers. The company says it's recruiting heavily for Spanish bilingual candidates. CarMax will also hire about 200 employees at its auto finance headquarters in Kennesaw. The Brawny Man is stepping aside as Atlanta-based Georgia Pacific recognizes Women's History Month. The paper towel brand is celebrating strong and resilient women. Company officials say the new packaging is just part of an effort to encourage girls to chase their dreams and go beyond gender stereotypes. Brawny commissioned a survey that found that sometimes even parents can unknowingly steer their children toward traditional gender career goals.
I think it's very interesting to just see the difference in terms of what parents and the impact parents have in terms of some of the gender barriers that they may have grown up with or maybe impacting them that could be impacting kids.
Brawny continues a multi-year partnership with the nonprofit organization Girls Inc. and will contribute $75,000 to support the nonprofit's programs. AT&T has started reorganizing its Warner Media unit, a move that includes breaking up Atlanta-based Turner Broadcasting, the pioneering cable TV conglomerate created by Ted Turner. The Turner unit joins what is now known as Warner Media. The corporate brand name of Turner will effectively disappear in the coming months. AT&T is shaking things up to make the company more competitive in the changing landscape, which includes more streaming entertainment. Last week, Turner's president resigned. CNN's chief, Jeff Zucker, will get an expanded role in Warner Media. No word yet on how many job cuts are expected for the thousands of local employees of Turner brands, including the Cartoon Network, Turner Sports, and CNN.